Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Now, this is from a distillery I've done a couple bottles about. I'll pull them out in a second. Starlight Distillery in Indiana, of all places, about, 25, 30 miles northwest of Louisville. All right, this is from the Carl T. Huber's single barrel program, and it's a bourbon whiskey. They made it themselves, and it's finished in peach brandy barrels. Why did I buy this? Now, they, the Starlight Distillery Hubers, they make their own peach brandy. They are the largest fruit farm of Indiana. Well, I visited them in August of 2024, and I was surprised. I was just waiting for my tour. I had about 10 minutes. I went outside, did something on my phone, and they had these tractors and they had the trailers, and you could sit down on the trailer with a bucket and go pick. You could pick your blueberries, your cherries, your peaches, your plums. I don't know what was in season at that moment. There was like 4 tractors with 20 people each that left within 10 minutes. It was crazy how many people came there to do their own fruit picking. All right. Now the distillery themselves has a long tradition. All right. So they have been in business since 1843. They actually here, let's get our distillery here. So we have a guy, he actually, Simon Huber, I said in the German way, left Germany 1843, Baden-Baden to be exact, went to the banks of the Ohio River in southern Indiana, started a farm there, and it became the largest fruit farm in Indiana. And they wanted to actually produce their own brandy from the fruit grown on their own estate. And that's the best thing you can do. You can, of course, sell. I'm just going to name some numbers that are off by magnitudes, I'm sure. Let's say you make 10 pounds of peaches, and you can sell that for $10. It could be $20, it could be $30. Or you could take those same 10 pounds of peaches and turn it into peach brandy and sell that for 50 to 60. Ta-da! Yeah, all right, that's what we want. So, and they were like, okay, we want to do this. And it's like, no, you can't. They had to actually have legislation changed in Indiana in the year 1998 for them to actually be able to create their farm brandy distillation permit, or to get that in Indiana, allowing them and others to actually do that. So that's with that the name Starlight Distillery was born. In 2000, they purchased a 80-gallon pot still from Germany, from Christian Kahl. And by November 2004, they had their first bottle of Huber brandy on their shelves in their own little farm shop, is what I'm going to call it. It's not little by any means. They have their own restaurant. It was fantastic what they were doing there. All right, and from 2001 to 2013, they were just basically producing brandies. You can't say the word port, but they were producing ports. And then they were like, oh, hey, I think we need to change the legislation again. I think we should have permitting them to allow them to produce artisan spirits from grain. So become their own whiskey distillery. And finally, in 2013, the family achieved the goal. Starlight Distillery became the first artisan distillery in the state producing bourbon. All right, and so they actually had created a new 13,000 square feet still house adjacent to the original production area, and that's where the Carl T. Bourbon was then born, and they've made that ever since. Now, not even that, their sons are also now involved in this game, and I love that part. And so when I was there, I did the tour. We talked about more wine than we talked about the whiskey the whole time. And then we go up to the top of the barn, basically back to the tasting area. And you got this sheet of paper, which I thought was kind of cool. There were like 15, maybe 20 different things you could try. You could try a wine, you could try brandy, you could try a vodka, you could try a gin. And I was like, I'm here for whiskey. And so you could put 3 or 4 X's. I don't remember how many X's you could put. But I said I wanted to try only the whiskeys. And you had a normal whiskey, you had a finished in something, and so a VDN cask and so on. I tried them. Oh, thank you very much. That was interesting. And I went down back to the gift shop, and I was like, looking around, I really want to take a bottle home, and I remember them talking about the peach brandy, that they actually make the peach brandy themselves. They empty their barrels and fill it with their bourbon to finish it in. And so I went down to the guy at the gift shop and I was like, hey, could I try the peach brandy? He said, no problem. I said, oh, there's also a second one. There's a VDN or there's something else I did not have. And I want to, maybe it was a cognac. I don't know. I want to try that. And I said, I'm just going back and forth here. I don't know which one. He says, the brandy we made ourselves. And I was like, okay, boom, got it. So I bought this. All right. So I think it was $72 plus tax. Did I regret it? Not at all. I have here in front of me a double oaked Starlight bourbon, and I have in front of me, I don't know why they don't get sued for the dripping wax here. I have in front of me a standard Indiana Rickhouse Selection bourbon whiskey here. So, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm only going to compare these two because this is the base and this is what happens to it afterwards. I have here 116 proof. I have here 118.2. I have 4 years. I have 4 years. So these are very, very similar. This just received a finish. Remember when, at least over here in Germany, Four Roses single barrel had that leather little neck tie is what I'm going to call it. They put that together here. So this is what it looks. It's just paper now. Isn't that a shame? I remember the leather, but hey. So now they have the leather and the single barrel still, and I think that's fine. All right, Fred Mosinger, thank you very much for this bottle. I bought it off you here. Military over in Germany could not bring home open bottles, and I got to buy them for a very good price, and I still have this one, which was very, very nice. Selected by the Topeka Whiskey Society, barrel number 16412. Yes. All right. On my nose here, I do get a little bit of peach. Over here, I get wood. This is standard. This is good. I like this. This is very good. Now, to be honest, both of these they don't put out anything, Starlight Distillery, that's under 4 years of age. So everything's at least 4 years of age. And that is great. That's what we want. All right. Very, very good. They are at cask strength, which these both are, a tiny little bit hot. Both of those could do with a tad bit of water. They get better with water. So I'm going to try this first and then go over here. It's been a while, been months since I've had this one. If I'm correctly informed, their mash bill is going to be 60% corn, which is not much, 20% rye, 20% malted barley. And what I think is also very interesting, sweet mash distillation, not sour mash. So just like Wilderness Trail, Peerless, Hard Truth, and these guys are doing sweet mash. That is tasty. I must admit that is very, very nice here. Going over to the brandy. That was a good single barrel pick. Well done. Bourbon. Plus, now towards the end, you get that. The peach brandy is not overpowering, which I really like. There is heat in the back of the throat. This is much better in the proof range than this. I mean, we have what? 116. We have here 116.2, 118.2. Sorry, so 1% or 2 proof points difference. This gets very, 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 very nice at about 53.5%. I added some water. It more viscosity, more thickness, more richness, more silkiness. With water, just a little bit, take it down to 53 some percent. This is a B whiskey. Value for money, $74 for a 4-year-old whiskey. That's almost $20 per year. That's a little bit cutting. I'm going to give it a C-. Now, I did buy it at the farm shop. You're not going to get it cheaper anyplace else, I think. But still, this is something where it's like, okay, good. They're doing very, very nice stuff. They have no problem selling their products. They're making good product. Hey, let them have the money. Why not? Would I love to see this at $49? Yes. Would I like to see it 59 or 69? Great. But this is still a single barrel cask strength whiskey. And it's finished in one of the most unique barrels I've ever had that they themselves used beforehand. Peach Brandy. Did I try the Peach Brandy? No, I should have, right? That says beautiful bottle of the Peach Brandy there. They're famous for it. Now, the question is, do I prefer this, the Peach Brandy finished bourbon, or do I prefer a store pick over here? Wow, that's a good pick. Without water, this is better. With water, this is better. Save my butt. All right, so without water, this is a C plus, B minus. This without water is a B minus. With water, this can go up to a B. This is definitely a B as well. So that's very, very good. My first question of the day is, what is the craziest finish you've had? Peach Brandy, I think, is crazy. And second of all, have you had anything from Starlight, and what's your opinion? So far, everything I've had from Starlight's been good to very good. I'm a little bit, I'm not in love, but I'm a little bit enamored by the distillery. And since I was there, it changes your perspective. Before, it was the stuff I read online and this and reviews, and then when you go there yourself, it's like, ah, yeah, wow. And the German, I did not recognize back then the contact, and still up until today, a lot of the equipment they have there is German. And that really, really impressed me, especially for the winemaking stuff there. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and telling others. Don't forget to write down your favorite Starward product and your famous, most craziest cask finish. See you real soon. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.